This might be a hot take, but Smurf Q is killing the game for me and is one of the worst things that Riot has ever implemented. I get it, we don't want Smurfs to ruin games, but for someone like me who doesn't play as much as I coach, all of my accounts are decayed. I can play on my main account, but no matter what account I'm using, the game thinks I'm smurfing, so I get in lobbies with all of the absolute worst people and it's making me hate the game. Seriously, please fix this so it works as intended. The consequences range from mild annoyances like getting flamed for being the only person actually playing said game, to just being told that I'm worthless and getting my life threatened for 20 plus minutes because my top laner thinks it's my fault that he's 0-6. At least I get some dopamine from getting one of these afterwards, but I don't know if it's worth it. To say that I'm over it would be an understatement. However, it is rather amusing to me that the people I'm playing against are all supposedly smurfing, and whether that's from Platinum or Challenger, I have no clue. But they're supposed to be at least decent at the game. I figured that if I'm going to have to endure playing in this hellhole regardless, I might as well get some takeaways for you guys so I don't feel like it was a complete waste. But before we get into the guide, here's video of you trying to rank up without skill capped. Don't worry, we can fix that at skillcap.com. Link in the description below. The players that I was playing against were all still making really dumb mistakes that I could capitalize on. And there's a few things that I wanted to point out because if Smurfs are making these mistakes, you probably are too. Let's go ahead and just start with a Diana game that I played, and my mid laner somehow dies to a mid gank from Rengar.
How'd you die to that?
Okay, past me was equally as surprised, and mild tangent, but in 5 games, every enemy jungler actually had a conversation with me in post-lobby where we questioned our existence over how much both of us were flamed from our respective teams. One of them was 30 minutes long, and ultimately it led to him quitting the game altogether. Let's hear it for Smurf Q, guys. Anyways, nice guy, but he does happen to have made a huge mistake here that lets me turn around this dire looking game. He made absolutely no effort to hide himself on the map. Information in League is literally everything. Without knowing where he's headed here, it gets way harder for me to figure out what to do next. But you don't need to be a smurf to see him running into top river at half HP to figure out what to do next. I try my best to be in places that are just less likely to be warded, not even guaranteed to be. I'm gonna stay out of vision here because maybe this is warded, or more likely to be warded. Yep, that's really good for me. The reward is super apparent. I mean, when people don't know where you are, they just can't make the best decisions and they often just look like they're inting. When I'm going for ganks that look like they're going to fail, I'll call them off early and try to avoid showing on the map as much as I can. I make a very conscious effort to play around vision pretty much any time I'm playing the game. I purposely don't turn the corner here because I know that the enemy wave would spot me and that would complicate things. It's the only reason why plays like this even work. I kill a Cully because she has no idea where I am, and then afterwards I only live because Rengar has no idea either. And I have a pink and yeah.
Poor guy. He probably dies actually, let's see.
Vision is just OP, there's not much else to say. A blatant disregard for this idea just leads to things like this, where you've just made a play and then get punished immediately afterwards because you forget that your opponent knows exactly what to do. I get so many free kills just by taking routes that hide where I'm coming from, like this. All the Rengar from our previous example had to do to live was just fake like he's walking somewhere else, even if he immediately wants to go to the same place. The second he hides info, I'm not going to go running into top river to kill him because it's more likely I'll just waste my time. So try your best to not show on map period, but if you're going to, you really need to eliminate counterplay. Let's jump to another game really quick to explain. I'm mostly trying to show off this first strike bounty hunter interaction and I'm presenting. So sometimes recording commentaries makes me focus on what I'm saying and less on what's going on, but hey, it did give me a good setup for this teachable moment, so I guess worth. When Wukong shows top here with a blue buff and level 2, it's painfully obvious exactly what he's done. While he got to just start my blue for free this game, it actually ends up being beneficial for me now. If we think about what camps are down for me, and therefore what's leveling up, I have my whole bot side, both buffs, and at least one of my camps top side taken, probably the Grom. This means that most of my camps will be higher level really fast, and his, well, there's literally nothing down yet, so they're stuck at level 1. If you didn't know, this really hurts your second clear in terms of XP, and you're pretty much guaranteed to fall behind the other jungler. My Urgot survives the gank and then decides to kill himself by Eing in after, but whatever, it really doesn't even matter. I know I can invade for sure now.
This is just so bad from Wukong. He goes through all that effort to invade and then just stifles his advantage. It doesn't even matter if he gets a kill. Does absolutely nothing. I hate Smurf Q, man. It's just so infuriating. In what universe is this wrong, man? Like, what? In what universe is that wrong? Okay? I'm just gonna kill her, man. Like, what the hell?
The point is that when you do go for plays on the other side of the map, you really have to get rid of things that your opponent can do. Because if they're competent, they will just brute force it. Like in this clip, I'm able to just do Rift for free because Jarvan spends way too much time bot lane. This ends up having repercussions because I put Rift down, Jarvan feels like he has to do something about it, and then just dies 1v2 to me in his own jungle. One of the easiest things you can start doing is not going for plays on the opposite side from objectives. Unless of course you can't contest them anyways, but in general, doing them first will give your opponents one less thing to do. Really simple. If Wukong had just stayed hidden, I couldn't have invaded and then none of this happens. I want to remind everyone that Wukong taking 2 camps from me is actually the same as him taking 4, because he denies 2 from me, gets 2 extra for himself, and then it's really 4 camps to 8 camps at that point. Showing on top lane was especially bad because of this, as he's already guaranteed a massive lead and then just tosses it all away. I think all the incessant typing this day was really getting to me because I decided to lock in Karthus at this point in the night, a champion I do not play, and then YOLO run around trying to gank everything. Needless to say, it didn't really work out all that well, but hey, I got a 304 clear, and that's all that matters. While I was speedrunning through my clear, I was also busy sprinting straight to my death through the large majority of the early game. But guess what? Enemy Viego, who is massively ahead of me, leaves me a nice present of his entire topside. Again, double the value of these camps since they're counter jungled, and this is basically like getting 6 camps if I get to go back to my side and farm later. This alone puts me at even level with him, and if he knew what I'm about to say, then I'm out 12 CS, down a level, and very sad. As another really easy rule, if you know that you want to make a bot side play soon, try to clear out your top side first, time permitting. When you get into your bottom quadrant, you can leave all of your camps up and go do whatever play you want. The enemy jungler won't have anything to counter jungle as a response, and you'll be in the area to contest any of the camps they could actually try to take. Of course, I'm not out 12 CS down a level and sad in this game now, I just get to recall, go to my bot side, and farm away. A few seconds later, he shows on another ward in his top side, and well, all his bot side camps are up now. If you were wondering, yes, I did literally just full clear his jungle sans the Krugs that he got at the start, which caused him to basically lose 5 of his camps. I really did nothing this game besides turn my brain off and look for opportunities to be an herbivore. This guy is supposed to be infinitely more useful than me, but because he just let me farm a ton of his camps the whole game, I'm 2 levels up, almost 3, basically 10 CS per minute, and somehow not useless after inting for the first half of the game. Staying relevant let me demonstrate my insane mechanical prowess to pull off this play, and it was pretty therapeutic. My score looks good now, so I really had to let them know how well I played this game. Alright, now with some prior knowledge, we have a really hard question. With this lane state, do you think Zed will A, back off to recall here, B, walk up and die to my gank, C, walk up and die before the gank, or D, fail his W into a wall after his inability to pick between B and C? If you didn't guess D, don't worry, I didn't either. Regardless, he's dead at least, and now we do have a real question. What should Ahri do with the wave? Push it or not? At first glance, you might be tempted to push here, but with Ahri having no mana and the next wave being relatively far away, it'll take a long time to shove, and Ahri's tempo will be really poor. Zed will collect most of the farm, and she'll recall late. If she starts recalling right now, she'll have a freeze that pushes into us, and she'll be able to get back to lane at the same time as Zed. It would also let me regank and punish immediately. Then we can push and deny Zed even more. So now it's obvious that Ahri should probably just freeze here. And it's even more obvious that she won't do that because Smurf Q is hell.
She should just recall here without pushing. Okay, I need to help her shut now. She really messed up her wave.
It's important to recognize what your laners need to do with their waves because they don't know themselves. Even though I know she should just recall once she makes that initial plan impossible, I needed to just help her fix it and get to another game plan that works. In short, just manage waves to your laners, even if it's not your responsibility that they messed it up. Unfortunately, this does let Zed push in the wave for free, but at least Ahri didn't die with no mana trying to shove alone. In the same vein, I just run top to collect the wave because my top laner died and well, farm is farm. I'll skip camps for that. In case you're wondering why Camille is asking why her laner has 2 kills, it's my fault because I apparently should have flashed here and that would have somehow saved her life. But what's even more important is that I also gave her a frozen wave here that she could TP to instead of trying to push it out and griefing her even more. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed watching my descent into madness and maybe learned something along the way. These were my 3 tips to help you avoid a lot of the mistakes that cost players games.
Alright guys, before we wrap this up, let's tell you a little more about Skill Capped. So, we offer a 5-division rank up guarantee, and I think that's a pretty crazy thing to offer. It's like a gym membership guaranteeing you'll get ripped. Your local gym would go bust if they offered that, right? Not us. We've offered this for years because our service really does work. It works so well, in fact, that we're able to produce by far the largest catalog of premium league guides on the internet. We add over 20 videos a week, with over 1,600 guides curated into over 100 courses no one can compare. We've also sent challenger players into Elo Hell 714 times and counting, where they commentate how to carry live. They also respond to all questions asked. Sign up today for as little as $6.99 a month if you are serious about improving.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.